teach a lot of people English, and even my most advanced learners make this mistake. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Smashing English. Before we start this video, be sure to subscribe because we make new videos all the time and I don't want you to miss any. So with that said, let's get on with the video. Okay, let's get right to it. So these are the mistakes that advanced English learners shouldn't be making. So, have you ever said this? If I will see him, I will say hi. If I will see him, I will say hi. Okay, so what we have here is the first conditional. We use the first conditional to talk about things that are likely to happen in the future and usually what will happen as a result of this future event. So like in this sentence, we are saying, look, if I see this man, I'll say hi. If I don't see him, I won't say hi. That's all it means. But there are two wills. Can you see that? We've got two wills. Now, one of the wills is absolutely fine. So this second will, I will say hi, that is absolutely fine. But the first one, the one with if I will see him, no. Take it away, I don't want to see it, goodbye. And this is the case for most if clauses in the first conditional. There are only a few exceptions where you would say if I will or if he will. Most of the time, if you are talking about a time-dependent thing, you do not say if I will. The will is for the result, okay? So you've got the condition or you've got the prediction, then you've got the result. I will be happy. I will say hi. I will do this, okay? The will is for what will be the result of that condition or that action.
Moving on. So can you spot the mistake in this sentence? I am used to go shopping with my friends on Saturdays. I am used to go shopping with my friends on Saturdays. So the mistake here is the word am. We don't need it. Maybe you're getting confused with when people say, I am used to. So the issue here is, what's the difference between I used to and I am used to? So firstly, I used to. We use used to when we talk about a regular activity in the past, almost like a habit in the past. For example, I used to go to school, or I used to go to France with my family every year. Now let's move on to I am used to. I am used to is used when we are accustomed to something, when we are familiar with it. I am used to the weather being hot, but I'm not used to the weather being cold. That tiny verb to be changes the entire meaning of the sentence. So be careful.
All right, moving on to the next mistake I hear a lot as an English teacher. So imagine you have a list. No, not that kind of list. Okay, and you are listing the things that you enjoy doing, for example. So let's say you like swimming, singing, and dancing, okay? Now, sometimes I hear that people do not keep the same structure for the entire sentence. So they might say something like, I love swimming, dancing, and to sing. Okay, so we changed up the verb form there. So once you've decided on the form of your list, keep it the same throughout. So she likes singing, dancing, and swimming. Or I love to sing, I love to dance, and I love to swim. Once you've chosen the verb form, keep it the same, okay? Don't change things in the middle of a sentence. It can sound very bizarre and very jarring.
So the next mistake you need to be careful you're not doing is double comparatives and double superlatives. Uh-oh, this is the most worstest mistake I've ever said in my life. This may be an obvious mistake for some of you, but you'd be surprised how often I hear people making this mistake. For example, she is the most prettiest girl I've ever seen. Prettiest already puts the adjective pretty in its superlative form, so we don't need to double up and say most prettiest. You can't get prettier than prettiest. They are already the most pretty. My cousin is more taller than me. Just like the previous example, we don't need more taller. We can just say taller. Taller already means more tall. So that's all you need.
Okay, sorry everyone, but this next mistake is another conditional. I know everybody hates conditionals. I'm sorry, but it has to be said, okay? So this is an issue I hear with the third conditional, okay? So the way I explain the third conditional is it's usually about past regrets or things that could have been different in the past if something had changed. So it's like you are looking back on events and going, if this happened, then this would have happened. You know, you're like changing the past, even though we can't change the past. And the mistake I hear often is similar to the mistake with the first conditional. So I hear a lot of students repeating the same thing in both clauses. So for example, I hear this a lot. So something like, if I would have studied harder, I would have gone to a better university. So we've got would have twice. That's 4. I meant twice. But we only need would have for the result of the past action. So instead we would say, if I had studied harder, I would have gone to a better university. So the condition, the thing that we would like to change, we put that in the past perfect. So if I had studied harder, then we go for would have. I would have gone to a better university. You can swap it around. You could say, I would have come to the party if you had invited me. Okay, so the condition, the thing that might have changed, if you had invited me, past perfect. Then the result, the pretend result, because it never actually happened, we would use would have, okay? So just make sure that you are 100% confident with when to use would have and when to use the past perfect. Okay, moving on.
In my opinion, this is the mother of all mistakes. I hear this so often, I hear it in my sleep. Go to versus go in. Too many learners use go in when they actually mean go to. Next week, I am going in America. When we are talking about moving from one place to another to reach a destination, we need to use the word to. I am going to America next week. Most of the time, when we are talking about journeys, traveling, we need to use the word to. In is when we are physically going inside a building. Ooh, I really like this house from the outside. I'm really looking forward to going in. In is correct because I am specifying that I'm going from outside to the inside. If you are stood outside of a supermarket and you think, oh, I think I should go in. But if you are at home, you should go to the supermarket.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you would like to follow us on Instagram, you can do so, bing, there. And if you would like an online one-to-one English lesson with me or Bez, the link for that is down below. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next time. Ta-ta!